Welcome back to the sew along for the 3085. If you are following along with the written instructions, I will be covering steps number 8 through number 15 in this video. I went ahead and I did the first step, which is to sew the bodice front to the bodice side front, straight stitch, cordon seam allowances, wrong sides together, so your seam allowances will be visible from the exterior. Don't worry, we're going to cover them. When sewing this step, I wanted to call out, I think this is very helpful, is that a lot of people, when I teach this pattern, they try to match up the edges of the pattern. Like, wait, the lines don't match up. One seam is shorter than the other. So you are actually matching up the seam line, not the edges of the pattern. You see how there's like a little bit of a dog ears here? That's because it matches at the seam line. My students always get tripped up when they go to this step and they're like, wait, does it match? One is higher than the other, or this seam line doesn't match. It does at the seam line, not at the edge of the pattern. In this video, we will be sewing all those lovely and very confusing, not confusing, but it's a lot of trimming that goes on top for the boating. Some of it functional, some of it decorative. I wanted to call out though, is that I've taught this pattern, and when we do pattern adjustments, there are people who have to shorten it for a short torso. And when you do that, you have to adjust the lines. And usually the lines will become closer together. Now on a shorter torso, that just might accentuate how short your torso is. So you want more vertical lines. So my point being is that these trims, even though that the pattern calls for it a certain way or a certain number, are totally up to you. If you want more of an elongating effect, you can maybe do less of the horizontals, only do 2 horizontals versus 3. So I want to call that out so that you don't feel that you need to do all of these lines, and especially it's a lot. So feel free to play around with the placement based off of your body, how proportionate you are, long torso, short torso. Maybe if you're long torso, you want to do more verticals, or you want to do more horizontals to make you look not as long. The other thing I want to call out was that you are going to sew the horizontals first, then you're going to sew the verticals, the slanted verticals, and then last you sew the center front vertical, because the center front vertical is placed over the edges of the diagonal verticals. So what I do is that I like to sew one pin. You can use chalk, you can use a marking pen to mark this. I just pin. You can also use Otis 505 spray adhesive to spray base the wrong side of the trim, lay it over and lay it flat. Whatever makes it easier for you. Again, it's a lot, but just take it one step at a time. So if I put what I like to do is I like to fold it in half and establish my center front line. Okay, and now I'm going to mark with horizontals, pins, where my horizontal goes. Ends, I would say, at the center front. Here. Here. And then here. Great. And then I'm going to mark where the horizontal lines end over here. And the one horizontal line on this area does not reach the end because there's a vertical that covers it. So it's like in smack dab in the middle of like this armhole area. So once I have that pinned, I am then going to fold it in half again and pin it on the other side. Now again, you can mark, pin however you like, whatever makes it easier for you. Personally, I just like to take this underneath the sewing machine, put the trim at one pin, put the trim at the other pin, and then I want to eyeball it as I'm sewing to make sure that one is going to reach the other. You want to be very aware that there needs to be at least a ½ inch right here in order to sew the bra cups to the frame. It cannot be right here, right next to that wire seam line or that curve, because if so, when you sew the bra cups, you're not going to have this, you're not going to see this channeling. So first do the horizontals. I like to do one side, then go into the other side. You can also cut this here and place it there and then sew it in one swoop. Again, it's really up to you and whatever makes this step easier and faster. Horizontal trimming is sewn on. For these trims, it's not super important that you are really close to the edges because there's no boning that's going in here. But for the next trims, which are the vertical diagonal ones, it is really important that you sew super close to those edges. So I'm going to pin mark it. Just like I did with the horizontals, I'm going to mark the beginning and the end. And then as I'm sewing, I'm just going to connect the two. Also for the diagonal vertical ones, there is a trim that goes on top of this seam allowance. It's not marked on the pattern because it's the seam, but there is one that goes right on top. So I'm going to sew all of these. I'm going to mark the other side, then sew all the diagonal verticals, and then I'm just going to sew the last one on top and wrap it around at the top edge. the boning channels are on, and look, we have one boob. For this next step, I think it's so helpful to see what the end result should look like versus trying to explain it beforehand. Okay, so for the bra cups, I did this as an example because I know that they're going to be the sewist who the horizontal tape or boning channel on the bra cup as well as the bodice should line up, and they don't here. There is so much going on here that number one, perfection is overrated, and number two, I think that as long as the boning channels are even from side to side, it's okay if it doesn't line up. Now, if this boning is like pointed that way and then that boning is a little bit more straight and it looks different from side to side, then I think you should take it out. But if it's consistent from side to side, but it's not lining up with the bra cups, I think that's okay. Again, perfection's overrated. So I did that as an example because I know that there are going to be people who sew this and be like, oh my God, it doesn't line up. It's going to be up to you whether you want to take it out or not. So I think that as long as it's symmetrical from side to side, it's okay. So to sew the bra cups into the frame, I like to pin one side and then I pin the other. The thing you want to remember is that it doesn't go all the way to the top edge of the bra cup. Where that horizontal seam is, that is where the bodice and the bra cups come together. Then I like to pin the other side. And then I will pin in between. This is sewn at 1/4 inch seam allowance, backstitch at beginning and ends. You can sew with the bra cup right side face up or the frame right side face up, whichever is easier for you. Bra cups are in. Now it's time to sew the underwire channeling. I did one side, not the other side, because again, it's easier to show the after than explain the before. The thing that is so important at this step is that you want to sew the channeling in a way so that the channeling is sewn in 3 steps. The first step is through the seam allowances only. The second and the third step are through all layers. When you are sewing the first step, you want to orient the underwire channeling in a way so that when you go to sew the second and third step, that it's gonna be flipped down into the frame. You don't want it to flip up into the cups. That is so important. So first step is to lay the underwire channeling over your seam allowances only. So I'm flipping all this to one side and I'm sewing. Your channeling should be like right on that stitch line, but you are stitching right inside the channeling. And once you sew all the way around, you are going to go on the right side and you are going to do an edge stitch about 1/16 of an inch away, and then another one on the other edge of the channeling, about a quarter, 3/8. If you think that, oh, I'm not gonna be able to get that, I'm gonna go off the channeling, you can sew it with this right side face up. It's up to you.